oh my God, when you see her videos, she was this one woman who was so full of life.
But it's an American favorite dads, but of course, that's, like you said, white American.
Did it just show that I'm still learning to be American? And the funny thing is,
2.4 billion.
I know this video might strike some nerves, but this is the truth coming from a black person looking at it and listening to other white people saying such things. In South Africa, they would have found that you'd be ash. Unfortunately, that's
Welcome to Chilling with the Chaplins. It's your boy LJ with the one and only, my lovely wife, Lady Caesar in the building. Yes, you know we about that vibe each and every week. You know what I'm saying? You know you got us, so we want to jump right in with welcome to Sunday Funday, where we're all about learning, being informative, and having fun. And yes,
I hope the chillers know how to say this now. It's about time. It's been a year. Hello.
Yes, come on, baby.
Sing along with us whenever we say. Sing along with us. Where we're all about learning, being informative, and having fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So this week we're gonna be doing. So this what happened. So we have a search engine that is worldwide called Google. And I was just curious, and I think some of you guys are curious what's on people's minds throughout the year. So I was like, I wonder what people Google in the world. But because we focus on America and South Africa, so I said, okay, let's start off and check out America. What did Americans Google in the year 2022? So this is from January up until December. What rated the highest in Googled things?
Rankings.
What ranked the highest?
Yes.
In what was Googled. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and probably next week we'll come up with, we'll talk about South Africa. And we might even do the world as time goes by. We'll see how you guys react to it. But today we're doing what were the top 10 things that were Googled in America. So come check it out with us.
Yes.
Okay, the first one is, and then of course we're going to give you some commentary on that, and if we know about it, listen, we only came across this when we researched it. Some of the stuff we had no idea what it was. Okay, so learn with us. All right, so the first one is
digital. It's a gameplay. It's a game called WORDLE.
WORDLE. WORDL. You'll see the picture of what it looks like on the screen. WORDLE. When I saw that, I was like, what in the mess is that? I can't even pronounce this word, WORDLE. And then I had to research and check what it is. So what is it?
Yeah, WORDLE is a digital 5-letter guessing game.
So at least it makes people smarter
and
think.
Yeah, make people think. It's a guessing game. And now players get to try.
Have you heard of this word before today?
I never heard of it.
Me too.
Never heard of this game.
I guess we don't fall in the statistic of people who Googled it.
Yes, but players get to try to guess a 5-letter word with only the previous guess providing clues. Mm-hmm. So the previous guess provides the clues for the next word.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently this word.
This game.
It's a word because people Google the word to find out, like us, what it is. Because I'm sure people were talking about it in the office and everything.
Yeah, maybe.
That, most people play this game when they woke up. Like while they were brushing their teeth, they'll be guessing and then typing it in because it's a digital game.
Yes,
it's more like Scramble. But this one, the only words are 5-letter words.
Yes.
Interesting. And I was like, but why this game when there's so many games out there? Well, I think for convenience, because it was digital.
Yes.
People can move around with it, do it while they're in the train, commuting to work, etc. But also, why was it appealing to people?
Yeah, because it can be played once a day. So you only can play it once a day.
Yeah, and I guess that just made people excited. Like,
Yeah.
I hope I get it right today. You know, like I think when things are scarce, people tend to value it more, and hence I guess it just gave them the excitement to let me do it today and see what happens. Let me guess my 5 words. One thing I like about it is that at least it made people think.
Yes, it made people
It
think.
wasn't just a fun game, but it was also engaging game in terms of mental mindset.
Yes, which is a good thing. You know, so this game, you know, if you haven't heard about it, you know, maybe research it, check it out. You know, it definitely could be a good game to test your mental.
But that was the most Googled word. That's number one. Actually.
That's number one.
We should have started 10, 9, 8.
Yeah.
But okay, we started at number one. But number one, that's the
the number one word. Google. Yes. Yeah, that's the number one.
Because we're gonna do top 10. We should have done 10, 9, 8. Yeah. Next time we'll do 10, 9, 8. But we started off with number one. Okay, number 2. Election results.
Yeah.
Well, I fall under that statistic. I know I Googled election results because I wanted to know who won. You know, in America, we have something called midterm elections, which happens every 2 years, where they elect people who represent us in the Senate and in the
Congress, the House.
The House, Congress. And so they're always exciting because they always... these are in between presidential elections because the presidential happens every 4 years.
Every 4 years,
and it's always exciting to know which party, because in America we are 2-party country.
3.
Well, 2.
Yeah, but maybe 2. Yeah.
The third one is like whatever.
Whatever.
They're rebels. The third, I call them rebels.
Rebels. Yes.
So these 2 main parties, they either win, because I've never heard the third party take the house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so those are just rebels. So these 2 parties decided if they gain the House or the Congress at that time. And I know that you fall under the statistic of voting, which you did. Were you interested in the results?
No.
I was, and I didn't vote. And I'm the one who didn't vote, but I was like, because I mean, I'm a former diplomat, an international relations student, so these things intrigue me. I always want to know the political status of the country which I reside in. Thank you very much. So there's nothing wrong with that. And was I happy with the results? They were okay.
It was okay.
Do you remember what the results are?
I think it was. I know the Republicans did win the House, which was like 221 to
and
like 199.
And they took it away from the Democrats because the Democrats had the House.
No.
Yes.
No.
Nancy Pelosi was the.
That's Senate. That's Senate. That's the Senate.
Okay. I did some learning.
That's the Senate. The House is totally different.
So the House
most
was
it's always Republican. Yeah, it was always. Yeah.
I don't want to say always,
but it's not always. But it's mostly
So they retained.
They retained the House. Yes,
okay.
they retained the House.
And then
you need 220. I believe 220 votes to get the House Senate get the House representatives.
And then the Senate fell onto
the majority fell on the Senate, which the Democrat, yes, which they still hold the majority. It was the majority the last term, and the Democrat.
So
they just kept they retained the House.
Interesting. Okay.
They retained the House Senate.
If it's wrong, tell us in the comments, because I don't know how accurate this is. I'm still becoming American.
Yeah,
so.
But yeah, the Democratic hold the House. But you gotta remember the Democrat. Now this time, remember it was 50-50 last time, and with and the vice president was the 51st. Yeah, was deciding. Now the Democratic was the outright. They don't need the vice president to be the deciding. Yeah, they didn't need the vice president to be deciding. They actually won this Senate without the vice president being the deciding one.
Nice. All right, so that's American politics. So that was number 2 in the most Googled searches. Number 3.
And you, why would you think that would be the number 2?
Well, because, midterms, like any other elections, actually, I would assume, even if it was presidential elections, it will be Googled. People want to know what the results are, and the only way to know is through searching online.
You know why I would say that? Because, Republicans are still a little salty because they lost the election with President Trump.
Yeah, well.
So they're a little salty. They want to, they still consider cheating.
Hoping.
They still consider cheating and holes and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, so So they was hoping.
But also just, Google is the most convenient way to find anything, So you want to find something, you Google it. So, yeah, so I know I Googled election results because I wanted to know. And not once, not twice, a couple of times. Probably, because we had a couple of places that took out their results like weeks in, so you're anxious to know. And these were swing states, which means states that held like a nice majority of seats if they won. So you would be interested to know. And of course, it's no secret I'm Democrat, although I'm not voting yet, but because Democrats usually vote, for people like me, like myself, black and brown people, the decisions are mainly, geared for people like myself. And that's why I associate myself with Democrats, not, but would I vote Republican? I probably would if they saying something that aligns with me at that point in time. But at this point in time, I would vote Democrat. And
myself, I am a Democrat, but I do associate myself as an independent because now I'm a more conscious.
So do you vote independent or do you vote Democrat when you vote? It depends what's on the ballot.
Yeah, but I'm registered as a Democratic.
Oh.
I haven't changed it, but I guess when
you're the rebel, because this independent nonsense is the rebel.
But I associate myself.
They just don't want to stick to something and be seen as that. Because when you're independent, it's like you can vote either way.
Either way, yes, you can vote. And I think I prefer that to vote either way because I'm more conscious voting now. I just don't want to vote Democrat. Yeah, because if they're not the right person to be in the chair or as a president or senator, then I'm not going to vote for you. I'm going to vote for the best candidate. It doesn't matter if you're Democratic, Republican, or independent.
Candidacy, what you stand for.
What you stand for. And I want to vote for the best candidate. And so that's why I associate myself now as an independent, because to me, I say I'm a conscious, I try to be conscious voter, and we all should be a conscious voter. Just don't vote just to vote, like we discussed before.
Yeah. All right. So number 3, who was the most Googled? What was the most Googled thing? I won't say who, but it happens to be a person.
Betty White.
Well, this is the funny thing. I've seen Betty White, because she appeared in a lot of American movies. As a grandma and so forth. But I never knew she was Betty White until she passed away.
She was in one of the famous sitcoms.
Apparently.
Yeah, you want to know what the sitcom was?
Sure, go ahead.
Golden Girls.
I don't know what it is, but it's famous for, the Americans. So I never knew who this old lady was until she passed away. And she passed away December 31st. What a bad...
On New Year's Eve. I know, right?
The worst day to die. You're so ready.
Well, it could be on the 30th or the 2nd, right?
Well, it happened to be the 31st.
She couldn't even see the New Year's come in.
Right. And I'm sure she was like, well, I'll see you next year. No, next year never came. And I think a death like this makes you really appreciate life, because people kind of assume when they reach the last day of the year, 365 days into the year, that we're going to see each other the following year. And some people never get to see it.
Some people
And Betty White is a great example of that. But one thing I love about Betty White is that she lived her life to the fullest.
Yes, she lived to the
Because when she died, of course, I'm one of the stats who researched who this Betty White lady was. And oh my God, when you see her videos, she was this one woman who was so full of life. Cracked a lot of jokes. And guess how old she was about to become?
Yeah, she was about to be on. She was 6 days from becoming 100.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That person she went home.
Yeah, 6 days from becoming 100.
She went home.
Yeah.
She died at 99.9999.
99.99. 6 days for being 100 years old.
That is like, wow.
Yeah.
And she was still in good health.
Yeah.
She literally went home. So RIP to her. And wow, what a life.
Yeah, what a life.
And I think she acted till the very last minute.
Yeah.
Like she was still acting.
She still was acting. Yeah, she was still.
She was the grandma of TV.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's an awesome legacy.
Yeah. She was TikTok famous too.
Yeah, TikTok famous too, and unfortunately she suffered a stroke. And that was the end of her, but she lived her life, and most of us would love to live a life much closer to what she lived. We don't know what happened behind the scenes, etc., but living to 100 and still doing what you love in your 90s, come on.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
Yes.
So yeah, that's Betty White.
Betty White.
We saw the picture, and now you know her if you didn't know. Now you know if you did not know. All right, number 4.
Yes, number 4 was Queen Elizabeth.
And that is
II.
my Commonwealth. My Commonwealth. Former Commonwealth.
Former Commonwealth.
Commonwealth, because Commonwealth still exists.
Okay, yes.
Commonwealth Queen. And we all know who Queen. I mean, if you don't know who Queen Elizabeth II is, come on, like really? Yeah. So she was number 4th most Googled person in
number
the United
4
States.
Google most Googled thing.
Google thing or person.
That was Google.
In
And she was Britain's longest reigning monarch.
70 years.
70 years.
Woo, that lady did not want to go anywhere.
70 years.
And you know, I was thinking about it as I was just, writing down the notes, that she waited for that 70th celebration. Because she died just, not so far after they celebrated her. So, boy, she had resilience.
Yeah.
She waited, they celebrated her. It was, I think it was a whole week celebration. I mean, who reigns for 70 years? Yeah. Wow. Because she started her reign when she turned 21.
21.
All the way to almost 100.
Yeah, almost 100.
She was in her late 90s.
96.
96.
She was 96 years old.
Wow. Can you imagine not being able to put on your own shoes? I'm sure she didn't even brush her own teeth. I don't know how they live in the royal house, but being catered for all your life, literally. I think that's a great life. That's why she was able to live till 96, because she looked good even before she died. And did they ever tell us how she died?
No.
But I don't think it was a brutal death. I think
she probably died in her sleep.
And I think
she died in her sleep.
I think what killed her?
What?
She died of a broken heart.
Okay.
Because remember, her husband had just passed away not so long ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so she died in September of 2022.
Who? Not September?
No, Queen Elizabeth?
Yeah.
She died in September.
She died in September? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the throne, in the throne in September.
September.
She was 96. Yeah, she died.
September.
Yeah. And her husband had died, I think, earlier that year or towards the end of the previous year. But it wasn't 12 months in.
Yeah.
And they were like 2 peas in a pod, like Chaplin and I. So if one would die, the other would really suffer from, I don't declare it, but I believe like if one of us would pass away, because we spend so much time together, that I would probably have a broken heart, or you would have a broken heart.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And we've just been married for what, almost 6 years?
5 years, yeah, over 6.
And they've been married for like forever. Forever. Because when she took on the throne, she had to be married. So she had been married since the age of 21.
21. That's a long time.
That's a long time. So they've been married for 70 years. That's a long time. And then losing your spouse. So, R.I.P. to the Queen and her husband. But they lived a long life.
Yes. They lived a long life. And so the 5th one is
number 4.
Number 5.
Yeah, you go ahead and
number
tell
5.
us who it is.
Bob Saget.
Do you know who that person is?
Not before I looked at it. I know who he is, but I didn't know, by reading it. I only went through the notes.
So what does this tell you? Okay, Bob Saget was white as well. So all these people, all these people so far that were the most Googled, are white. But one thing that came to mind is that, America is majority white. So if something is going to be most Googled in this country, it's going to be of white people. Makes sense, right? There's nothing unfair about that. And it doesn't mean that it's only Googled by white people.
Yeah.
Black people can Google it too, because I Googled 3 elections. I Googled Betty White, because she was all over the news, and I wanted to know who this lady was. I didn't Google Bob Saget, but now I know who he is, because after this, when we found out the top 10, I had to go and find out who this man was. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's like, now he did die in January.
That's an awful time to die.
Yeah, he died in January of 2022. He is
But isn't that funny that even though he died in January 2022, he was still most Googled throughout 2022?
Throughout the year.
Because this stats...
And because early 2022, and he was the first high-profile death of 2022.
Because Betty was the last.
The last one. Yeah, Betty was the last.
You die on the 31st of December, you're going to be Googled in the following year. Makes sense, right? Yeah, because she died the
2020, 21, yeah, 2021.
So you're going to be Googled throughout 2022.
Yeah, 2022.
So Bob decides, okay, you took that one, I take the one of dying in the beginning of the year of 2022, and it gets to be Googled throughout the year, because these stats, like I said, they cover the entire year.
Yeah, and he was 65 years old, and he was best known for for being the favorite dad, Danny Tanner, on the hit TV sitcom.
You know, when I saw that,
House.
I'm like, I guess he was Bill Cosby's
yeah, but it's
rival.
an American favorite dads, but of course that's, like you said, white American. Because African American favorite dad was Bill Cosby. Yeah, it was the Hustler.
Which I'm not sure
it
is right now.
It was Cliff Hustle. It's between African American. Cliff Hustle was he's still. It doesn't matter what Bill Cosby done. Cliff Hustle will
always be America's favorite dad.
African American favorite dad.
Because we grew up watching him.
Yeah.
You know Bill Cosby. I grew up watching him in South Africa, and I know Bill Cosby, and I love Bill Cosby.
Yes.
And, you know, he wasn't the greatest man towards the end, the legacy that we know of him now, but he still had that
image. Yeah, he was African American.
The title.
Yeah,
I would rather say.
So I would say Danny Tanner's or American. I want to say American favorite dad. See, and that's
Did you watch that?
I did watch Full House. But I won't call him America's favorite dad because
white
American favorite dad.
We're not trying to be political.
Yeah, we're not. But it can be America's favorite dad when everyone.
But you watched the sitcom.
I watched it, but still, African American still was saying.
Because you did not align with him, and that's why white Americans would not say Bill Cosby was America's favorite dad, because they wasn't aligning with him.
Yeah, you know? but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You can't say America because they wasn't aligned with
But
the
remember,
clip,
in this
and
country,
we wasn't aligned
in this country,
I know
Americans are seen as white people, and Black Americans are seen as the other race. I don't know.
But I can't, But like you said, because a lot of these people that do these things. And mostly white American
a lot
people.
Of people who Google?
No, a lot of people that do these tallies, the American favorite dads, they
But
own,
this
they
is
own
what
these.
Google came up with. It's Google stats.
But no, I'm talking about
analytics.
playing one of America's favorite dad.
Okay.
You know that title. Most of these people that's in charge of these things, picking a favorite dads or
because the majority of America is white.
Yeah, so most of the people that own it is white Americans, so that's why they chose American favorite dad or whatever, because they the one that's in charge or they the one that own it. But to me, or African American people would not say he was American.
I don't even know what Full House was, to be honest, as a black person from South Africa. Maybe you guys do. But I do know.
It was a good sitcom.
Bill Cosby's sitcom. What was it again? Bill Cosby's one?
The Hustles.
There was a name for it.
Bill Cosby's.
It was Bill Cosby's.
Oh, no. It wasn't Bill Cosby's.
Yeah. The Hustables was their last
That's their last thing. Oh, my God.
We know it.
I think it was the Cosby's. The Cosby Show. Yes, Cosby Show. It was the Cosby Show. It was the Cosby Show.
Now, that's interesting, right?
It was the Cosby Show.
Because he's Bill Cosby. That's his real name.
That's his real name.
Oh, and he named the show after him.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
The Cosby Show, but his last name was
the
Cliff Hustable.
Mm.
Wait, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Right?
Because his name was Heathcliff on the show. The last name was Huxtables.
But the show was called...
But the show was called The Cosbys.
So we just learned something while we explained this. But anyway,
But
number
yeah.
5 was Bob Saget.
Yeah, Bob Saget.
Who played in Full House.
Yes, but that was it was a good show. But like I said, we don't
It had
relate
white
to it.
jokes.
Yeah, it wasn't. We don't relate to it like we more
Because
relate
it
to
had
the
white
house.
jokes.
No, but it was funny. It was
And
good
Bill
though.
Cosby had black jokes.
But it was funny though.
But
it was
because,
good.
but the
It was a
truth
good
of the
show.
matter is, some jokes you can only relate to with a certain race.
Certain ways, yeah.
You know, because like if I say South African jokes, you might not get some of them, but I do. Say American jokes, I might not get some of them, but you do, because you understand the culture behind it. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain. Okay, let's go to our number 6 most Googled thing in 2022 was
Ukraine.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
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 And I'm part of the statistic. I did Google Ukraine because I knew there was a country called, no, I didn't know there was a country called Ukraine. But I knew that.
You did it?
No, I didn't know. Ukraine.
I didn't know it was a country.
I honestly didn't. Although I'm a 90-day fiance fan,
Yes.
we have that lady.
We both is a 90.
Yeah, we have that lady from Ukraine.
Yes, from Ukraine.
But I just knew that it was one of the countries in Europe because there's so many. But I never really just, internalized it and come to know a bit more about it because it is a small country.
Yes, it is
But
a
it's
small
still
country.
a country with people.
Yes, and the war began February 24th.
It's almost a year, isn't that something?
And after
And it's still going
Putin,
on.
and you're right, and it's still going after Putin invaded Ukraine.
Yeah.
Now, it's Google.
And it's nice that they say Putin and they did not say Russia.
Yeah,
Because this is a one-man show. Like, seriously. It was the president of Russia who decided that,
to invade Ukraine.
yeah.
And
It's reported.
it reported plus 40,000 people has been killed so far.
And these are just civilians.
These are just civilians.
Not including the soldiers and
yes.
army people. These are
These
just
civilians.
regular people. And I was saying to LJ that this is just a number
Yeah, and reported.
that's reported. There are obviously a lot
Yes,
of unreported
and that's why it
cases.
says plus 40,000
Yeah.
because of course it could be over.
It could be more.
Could be more.
And I know, like, there's always illegal immigrants in every country, and they will go unreported because they're not in the
They're
system.
not in the system.
And I know one thing that I did not like about the Ukraine war is when you were seeing them coming out and fighting, to get out of the country, running away, that they had so much discrimination towards the
People
black
that
and brown
yeah.
people. And we could literally see visuals where they were shoving them out of buses and trains and everything because the black and brown people's lives didn't matter more than their lives mattered. So that's the one thing that really stood out to me about the Ukrainian people, as much as I had empathy and still do have for them. But it was like, but why would you think your life is more important than another person's life? The fact that they were
Because
not,
white lives matter, right?
and I would say all lives matter.
No, they like you said, but how can all lives matter if black lives don't matter?
I know that, but that's what they would say.
And that's what they would say.
I would, and the
But
fact,
that would show you that all lives don't matter when you could shove off the black and brown so
and
that
let
the
it be
whites can get on
allowed.
first. Yeah, let it be allowed. So
yeah.
that goes to show you that all lives don't matter because when you can push aside, like you should, whoever come first, whoever got there, you should be able to get on the bus regardless of who you are.
Right.
So let you know all lives don't matter.
Unfortunately.
But black lives have to matter for all lives to matter. When you consider black lives
I would
matter.
say all lives have to matter for all lives to matter.
Exactly. Yeah.
All lives must matter in order for all lives to matter.
Yes. Yeah. And that's so true.
And at that time, I know I worked with this white woman who would say, "Oh my God, they're such wonderful people." I'm like, "But you don't know them." And because she was white, she's like, "But this is happening to regular people." Like, is it supposed to happen to? Like, it raised so many things, and it made me so angry at the time, because I was feeling like, so if it would happen to black people, like other wars had happened, you know, in the Middle East, that was not taken as priority or as a war that mattered. Over it's happening. I know this video might strike some nerves, but this is the truth coming from a black person looking at it and listening to other white people saying such thing, that, oh, it's happening to such lovely people. But who is an unlovely person? You know, oh, it's happening to, oh my God, they blonde and they. Anyways, let's move on.
Yes, let's move on.
Number 7.
Number 7.
One of the most Googled things in America is one of my ultimate favorites. And I'm a statistic of this. Is drum roll.
7 millions.
No, mega millions.
Mega Millions. The Mega Millions. Yeah, the Mega Million was the 7th most.
Lottery.
Yes.
We're talking moolah now.
They said it was 377 billion.
With a B. With a B.
Mega Million jackpot was up for grabs.
When I think about that,
in July,
I can't speak. When I think about all that money, I'm like, whoa. It just be given to you at one time?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the winner came from Illinois.
And we still don't know who he is or she
Well, 2
is.
people. Yeah, it was 2 people.
2 people
came forward. They came forward, but it was anonymous.
But they stayed anonymous because I
Yes.
think Illinois, Chicago allows you to be anonymous. I'm not sure. But they were able to stay under the radar, which I would have done exactly the same thing. But
They probably wasn't from Chicago. It's got other cities in Chicago, in Illinois.
Illinois is Chicago.
It is, but that don't mean they from the person that came out is from Chicago. You got other cities in Illinois.
Okay, Mr. American. So, how do I break this down to you? Chicago is a state.
No, Chicago is a city. Illinois is a state.
Oh.
Chicago is a city in Illinois.
Did it just show that I'm still learning to be American? And the funny thing is,
you were so, you said it so much.
I was so sure.
I rubbed up on
You know why?
I rubbed up on you said it so much.
Exactly. You know why? It's rubbed it on me. Because I used to be a very conscious person in answering stuff that I'm not sure about. But now I said that with so much conviction. I was like, until in my mind, because I have friends in Chicago, it came to me, okay, when they write to me, you know, the return address, it'll always be
Chicago, Illinois.
Yes! So, like I would say, East Orange, New Jersey, or Orange, New Jersey, or South Orange, New Jersey, whatever the case is. Yeah.
The city always comes first and then the state.
Yeah. So
You said it was someone.
So let me just break it down to you, okay?
You said it was someone's conviction.
I know. He got me on that one. But let me just break it down to you. When you're married, this is what happens. You rub each other off with your habits.
Yes.
And my husband is the most convincing person answering something that he's not sure of. And I just did exactly that.
Yes.
And I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. I will never be like that again.
Oh my God. Oh, that was funny. I'm sorry. I had to laugh at that. She was sick. But yeah, 2 people.
Yeah.
But
back to Mega Millions.
1 point.
And the funny thing is that my friend, we both played it. And she was like, I'm like, friend, it's in Illinois. And she lives in Illinois. I want to say Chicago. But she lives in Illinois. And she's like, this person is like a couple of, is like in my city. No, it's a state. But they did say whereabouts. So it's where she is, actually. It was actually in Chicago. She's in Chicago,
Okay.
I think. Anyway, but she did say it's in the area. Sure? I'm not sure. But she did say it was.
It could be a neighboring city.
But she did say it was in her city.
Okay.
So I was like, it could be you. Go check. She said, "Nah, friend. It's not me," because I think they took it out where exactly the ticket was bought, and she didn't go to that place to buy it. So it was not her. So okay. And listen, if my friend, this particular friend, won this amount, you wouldn't know my name anymore, okay? Because I would have got some of that money and like, bye. So here's a little joke. I know that I'm gonna win the lottery. It's just a matter of time. And I asked this particular friend who's in Illinois to say, friend, when I win, what would you like me to do for you? Guess what her answer was?
What?
Pay my kids' college fees. I'm like, you wanna make me broke? You know how much that is? And she's like, well, you asked me. I'm like, well, that's a good thing. You answered big.
Yeah.
Think about other people that I have to give to as well. I can't just take all like $1 million and give it to you. Because she's got 3 girls. 2 of them are in college. So I'm going to pay for the 2 girls in college? No. Anyway, she laughed it off, but she really wanted me to pay for her kids' college fees, which was a good way to answer. I would answer big things too. I would never answer small. Yeah. Anyways, let's move to number 8.
Yeah, the number 8 one is Powerball numbers.
Again. Like, people who drift with me. I know some of you too religious people, like my husband is judging when you also play secretly. Like, I play openly. Okay? And I know if I play
secretly.
Them, not you, because you're holier than out. You're holier than everyone. You're Jesus' deputy. But let me tell you, I know. But when I win,
it's a waste of money though.
Whatever. When I win,
it's a waste of money.
It's like coffee that you drink every day. So instead of me drinking coffee, I make coffee at home and I play my lottery. Okay, and because when I win, he will want some of my money. So thank you.
Okay, but the lottery game reached a record-breaking Powerball jackpot.
2 billion.
2.4 billion.
With the B, that number alone just makes my mind spin.
And the person came from California.
Yeah.
In November.
They're already in a rich state. And because money attracts money. Money attracts money. That's why I'm working on my mindset, because I want some of the money to attract me, to follow me, to find me. To find me. Money, you better find me.
But what did I talk about today, though? About having the right association with money.
That's
money will find you.
That's why I'm that
association with money. So, money will find you. You don't have, without playing the lottery.
Boy, I want this easy one, because that's easy money.
It's not easy money.
It is easy. You just put in $2, $3, you get like 2 million, 2 billion. Oh boy, that's easy. Because money comes to me easily and effortlessly. Where's the effort in just playing for $2? None whatsoever.
We gotta pray for you.
All right, keep praying. Number 9.
And hacking.
And once again, didn't know who the white lady was until I Googled it in 2023.
Yes.
And tell us about her. She's 53. Well, was 53 because she passed away.
Was 53. Now, she was one of the biggest film stars of the late 1990s.
But isn't it sad that people are Googled when they die, when they're dead? Mm-hmm. Can't we have one person that's alive that's been Googled?
I know, right?
People have more interest in you when you're gone.
Now, she did die in a car accident.
Well, she didn't die instantly. She died a week later. Out of, due to that initial
car accident, due to the car accident.
It wasn't even a car accident, funny enough, because when we researched this, I went back and just checked her out. There was her house was on fire.
Her house.
And she was within the premises in her car. So I didn't go in detail finding out what caused the house to be on fire. So a fireman came in, put out the house, trying to put out the house put the fire out of the house. But they didn't really check the car until 20 minutes in.
Okay.
If somebody was there.
Okay.
And she was trapped in her car.
She was trapped in her car.
And it took them another 20 minutes to actually take her out.
Wow.
So when they took her out, she hadn't died yet, but she had inhaled so much smoke that it resulted in her death a week later.
Wow. So I see, because you gotta remember they was there for the house fire, and they wasn't.
Yeah, but listening to some of the videos and the recordings, one of the head firemen that was there at the scene asked, "There's a car in the yard or in the garage or wherever it was, but within the premises. Check if there's anybody in there." And I guess somebody who just doesn't like their job but decided to become a fireman said, "Oh, there's nobody." Only to find out that there was somebody. And if that person was taken out immediately as they came, as it was seen that there was a car in the premises, she probably would survive. Because with smoke, every second counts.
Every second count, yeah.
20 minutes inhaling that much smoke.
Yeah.
The sad thing when I researched this, I'm thinking in South Africa they would have died anyways.
Why is that?
Because the the firefighters would have come 2 hours later anyway.
Wait. So not only the police come late, the firefighters come late too?
Listen, I don't think there's an emergency in South Africa. I don't think we have.
Wait, so the police? We know.
Okay, let's go back to the.
Not 911.
In the hood.
Not 111.
In the hood, I've never seen not one hood with a fire station. Not one.
Not one? For real?
The fire stations, they are in.
Well, in New Jersey, where we're from, you always hear it.
I'm sure you hear it in our videos all the time.
You hear it on the video. It's always.
Let me tell you.
It's annoying. It can be annoying.
America, I've never heard so many alarms in my life.
So many sirens.
So many sirens. Even alarms, like everything just goes off. Like, carbon, this alarm, this inhale.
Carbon outside.
Like, it's just siren after siren, alarm after alarm.
Car alarms.
Like everything alarm, okay? Everything siren. I'm sure like every hour we hear an alarm. But apparently in the south it's not so bad.
Yes, probably.
It's just up here in the north because we're so close together.
And it's so busy.
It's
I think mostly because we're in the hood. I think in the hood, yeah. No, sometimes it's not an emergency. Sometimes they just be doing it because maybe they want to get by.
No, we're not in the hood. We are near the hood.
We're near the hood, yes. We're near the hood.
Anyways, so yeah. Going back to number 9, and HECHE, whatever, however you pronounce the last name. That's what we were talking about before we went into.
All right. I was a little bit, yeah. Side note.
So she was one of the biggest film stars in the late 1990s and died August 5th after being involved in the tragic fire, which resulted in her car being burned. We're gonna put the video so you'll see. And she lost her life a week later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sad. Yes.
But she was fortunate because at least her family got to say her goodbyes in that week. In South Africa, they would have found her and she would be ash. Unfortunately, that's my country.
That's your country.
I remember as a child growing up, and this memory is so clear. Our next door neighbor's house was burning. This was Kwamashu, C-section. And I remember, because they were seen as spies at that time during the apartheid. So people actually burned their house. We don't know whose. I think, one of the people that were sent by the apartheid, whatever. And I remember there was no firefighters around. And the neighbors had to come out to put the fire down with buckets of water. Until the fire went out because no firefighter came.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't see no firefighters. Yeah, no firehouse or nothing.
Well, we have a few in town.
But I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Dundas College, Durban Technical, which is now Durban University of Technology, they have like a firehouse just right next door.
Right next
That's
door.
the only one I know. Only one I know.
Only
There
one.
could be
For South
more.
Africa to be so big. Only.
Well, for Durban, because this is Durban.
Yeah,
But for me, that's the only one I've seen with my own eyes. That's the only one I know. Maybe there's more now, or maybe there was more then. But growing up in KwaMashu and in Inanda, I had never seen any. Never. Anyways, we're not even there. Number 10.
The number 10, which I don't like. I never seen it. It is a movie.
I don't think I'll ever watch. It's a documentary.
It's a documentary.
On
Yes.
Netflix.
On Netflix, the number 10 search and on Google is about a man, a terrible man.
Very terrible.
Very terrible, especially after hearing what he did and why he's so terrible. But we talking about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Didn't see the documentary. I don't think I would see it. That kind of stuff.
So this documentary, how it got to be one of the top 10 most Googled things on
It's a
Google
series.
in 2022.
And it surpassed 1 billion hours viewed.
I was explaining that.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Anyways, it surpassed 1 billion hours of view time. 1 billion hours.
Within view within
2 months of the show release.
1
That is
billion.
incredible.
Yes.
I didn't even see that note. 2 months of the
Show
series
release.
being released. Wow. I guess everybody wanted to find out who this man
Yes,
is.
yes.
So we did a bit of research about
Yes.
this man because we never watched it. We are not part of the statistic. And we did not know who the person was. And we found
I heard about him. I did heard about the show. I heard about the show.
So we found out that he was actually a
Pedophile? Not just a pedophile.
he was a
Serial killer.
yes, I'm gonna that word. He was a serial killer, but his targets were mainly
African American men and boys,
African American
Asian, and Spanish.
Yeah, Latinos, and those are the people that he targeted. But he did not only kill these people, but he also
Ate them.
How do we get to that part? I don't know. Anywho, so he was then caught, of course, and sentenced to prison
16.
for 16 consecutive years, life.
Life 16.
And he was fortunate enough, I would call it fortunate because he will still be in prison, in 1994 to be murdered by one of his inmates. So he never got to serve all his sentences, which was forever in prison, which I think was a bit unfair to those families who lost their loved ones because of this crazy man from Wisconsin. Of course, okay, I shouldn't say that.
What?
What I was about to say. I'll just say this crazy man.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll stop it right there before I say things that are not politically correct. Whew. Don't want to see us cancelled. Anyways, so that was the
Yeah,
time.
we can't. He got some.
I want to try and be honest, but at the same time, we have to watch what we say.
Yes,
you know?
yes. But he was a sick man. And I think for him, he was fortunate to lose his life in prison.
Yeah.
But
he deserved to be punished.
He do deserve to be punished. And I think for him to target
it was a shortcut.
Yeah,
for him
it was
to
a
be
shortcut.
killed.
Yeah, and for him to target only blacks,
It would have
Asian,
been better
and
if he targeted everyone. Right?
everyone. Yes, let you
No,
know.
it wouldn't be better. Nothing.
You right.
Every life matters.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
In racist.
I agree. But I'm saying
I guess black and brown blood or skin tastes better, okay?
I don't know, but
how
yeah,
they made it,
it's
from
great.
ragged or-
But why the thing is why he would do that,
we don't know because he's not here to tell us the tale.
Yes.
And I will watch a documentary to find out what was behind, his mental.
His mind, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want that to stick into my mind and my
Yes.
vibration and my past. Because I'm very photographic in things. Once I watch something, I dream about it, and so I'm very careful what I watch, especially now that I'm a conscious manifestor.
Yes.
yeah, so it's one of the things that I'll never watch in my lifetime.
Yes. Yeah, so that was number 10, and I think number 10 had to be that, but yeah, it's crazy. It's
So this is what Americans Googled.
Yeah, well, American Google.
Yeah, in 2022. So it's interesting that every year we're gonna do this, probably in December or in January, because the results Google releases in December. So December we're too busy with so many nice things, and probably January is the best time to talk about these things. But we'll see. We don't know what 2023 has in store for us, or 2024. So, but we know that we'll still be part of this family, and it would have grown much bigger.
Much bigger.
Yeah. Because of you and you who continue to you subscribe only once, okay?
Yes.
Don't be like my mother and unsubscribe and subscribe. Unintentionally though, when she did it, because you'll be like, I always press the button, like, no, you press it once and leave it. While it's red, you press. When it turns black, you leave it. You don't unsubscribe again.
You hit the notification bell and make sure you put all. When you press the notification bell, make sure you type the top one.
Select all, yeah.
Yes.
So anyways, thank you to everybody that subscribed and unsubscribed and subscribed again.
Unsubscribe.
Because I don't think she was the only one. We had, like, when we started, we had a few people who were really good supporters, who you see people leave the channel, people come back, come back.
Because they probably don't know that.
They think, because when you say subscribe, like every time you have to press that, no, you press it once.
And that's it.
And you leave it alone, okay? Don't press it again, because when you press it again, it unsubscribes you, okay? Press it once, and you will always...
Yeah, once you press it, you don't have to press it no more. We're talking about the people that's new, for the first time, whoever never watched it but never subscribed. Yes.
So you press that button, and then go to the bell next to it, press it, select all, so that you see all our videos that we release. And then you just leave it alone. But every time you watch the video, one thing that we'd like you guys to do is to press the like button.
The like.
That you press
and comment. Yes, you can always press the like, and you can always comment to the video.
And you always
because it helps too. Your engagement does help, with
and we don't know if you're supporting us or not if you don't comment. The only way we know that Dr. Matembu watches all our videos is because she comments in all of them, and we love you, Dr. Matembu, for that.
Yes, we love you.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Yes, because it does help. We learn from you, from your comments, and we like to know what you think. And it just
encourages us that we're not wasting our time and we're not doing something that people don't want to see. So,
yes.
So having said that, also we take these videos out on our podcast, the audio ones, so you can check those out as well. And we want to thank people who've been tuning in on the audios, because we've been having a nice amount of downloads.
Yes,
so
we've grown with the downloads every week. Yes, every week.
We're excited about that. So thank you guys for making it happen.
Yes, thank you.
We're not just doing it
video,
but
we're
doing it
audio
for people who don't have the time to sit down and watch. All right. So, having said that, we also just want you guys to be our friends.
Because this is just not another thing. Because this is just not a hobby to us. Yes, we actually love what we do. We actually love it. And we enjoy it because, like I said, we are speakers and coaches and trainers. So
and we just like to impart and share.
Yes, we love being a lesson.
And I'm sure you see, even in the Sunday Funday videos, we don't just share anything. We try to make things that will be fun and will be educational. So we don't just want to... Because even with our vlogs, like the vlogs that we share, it's educational stuff. Like, we don't just share, come join me while the day in the life of just walking around doing nothing.
You just hear the alarm.
Yeah. Just confirm.
You just hear the fire. Is it the fire or police? We don't know. Or both. But that's what happened when you...
Anyways, so let's go back to being serious, and that's the train.
That's the train.
Listen, we're manifesting moving to a much more quieter neighborhood
with no train tracks. Because we live right near the train tracks, so that's why you will hear the train tracks, because we live right next to the train tracks. We don't live too far.
And also, we are in an apartment building. We don't have a house yet, so
you hear people get jealous and knocking on the door.
So just excuse all that. It's our humble beginnings.
Our humble beginnings.
We know that the greater things are are yet to come, and they will come.
Yes.
And you're manifesting a big, beautiful home.
Yes.
That won't be,
Yes.
And we'll have a nice studio with soundproof.
Soundproof
in case the alarms come. Anyways, just follow us on social media.
Yes.
You can follow me at Lady Caesar on Instagram and
you can follow me at Get Inspired by LJ on all platforms.
yeah. So it's nice talking to you and seeing
Yes.
you again. Until next time.
Time to eat. It's time to go eat now.
Yeah, he's hungry. Until
Next time, we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.